welcome. Over the Top Podcast. It's your boy HD and the Over the Top Podcast crew. Hey guys, like always, we want to start the show off by just saying thank you for supporting our movement. Thank you for listening to our podcast. Like always, if you got a friend who you may find is interesting or helpful, please pass it along. Tell us you can join us on WDJY 99.1 FM every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Also on everywhere you get your podcast platform, from Amazon Music to iHeart, Spotify. You'll find us there. Also, you'll find us on our YouTube page. I think I got all that out the way. If I miss anything, I know our panelists will let me know. So let's see who we got on deck tonight. Q, what's going on, man?
First off, you forgot the sports page. Speaking of sports, as of today's recording, the real CP3 retired.
Candace Parker.
Candace
The
Parker.
real CP3.
Okay.
He retired today.
She was dominant too. So good job, Candace Parker. We definitely big ups to that. Playmaker, what's going on, man?
Hey man, I'm Diddy.
You
Don't
P.
be Diddy.
Hey, whoa.
I said Giddy.
Oh, Giddy. You Giddy.
Well,
Sorry,
Okay.
don't be Diddy. I thought you said I'm Diddy.
Don't be anything but Diddy right now.
This is bad. That's just
Don't be anything but Diddy. Diddy got issues. You won't want to go with Diddy
don't be giddy either. Don't be giddy either.
Don't be giddy either. All right. All right, Jay, what's the deal, Ron?
I'm Crunk. Crunk ain't dead.
What's up with Crunk ain't dead?
Going on tonight?
What? We're in the 990s, 2000s now. We Crunk. No, we doing. And last but not least, definitely not least, the lady of the crew, Lady Toya. What's going on, young lady?
What up, though? Y'all
How you
tripping
doing?
tonight, yo. I'm
I
good.
know,
I'm
right?
good. I'm goody. I am goody.
You goody, giddy, diddy. That's where we at. Goody, giddy, diddy. Huh?
None of those.
No. All right. Well, guys, they're not wasting no time, man. Let's go ahead and dive in this thing. What we got on deck for Ask Toya?
So this Ask Toya is a video.
In Mississippi, Lord, Mississippi, the governor has proclaimed April Confederate Heritage Month. And next Saturday, if you're not busy, April 27th, specifically was proclaimed Confederate Memorial Day. The proclamation was shared by the Facebook page of the state landmark, the Jefferson Davis Home and Presidential Library. Check out the caption here. They invite you to come celebrate with us. Celebrate with you. Celebrate the heritage of traitors who fought to preserve slavery under the fallacy of white supremacy? Hard pass. And this is not the first year this is happening in Mississippi, but you have to ask, why does it keep happening? Well, let's get perspective now from a former governor of Mississippi, Ray Mabus. He was also Secretary of the Navy under President Obama and is a former ambassador. Governor, good to see you. Let me read first just a bit of the statement that came from Governor Tate Reeves' spokesperson. For the last 30 years, 5 Mississippi governors, Republicans and Democrats alike, have signed a proclamation recognizing the statutory state holiday and identifying April as Confederate Heritage Month. But this is a choice every time it happens. What's your reaction to this proclamation?
Well, first, I didn't do it when I was governor. And second, Confederate heritage, really, the heritage that I think of Confederacy is slavery, is treason, and is losing. So which one of those heritages are we really honoring here?
Dear Toya, just wanted to know what the Over the Top crew thinks about Mississippi. My wife and I listen every Wednesday. We love the show. Signed JT Hargrove. We back in places that shouldn't exist in the United States. Mississippi this time.
Back in Mississippi. Playmaker. Jump in there. Your thoughts. Great. Get us started out on the good foot.
There's a lot of different ways you can go when you analyze this. You can go down the freedom of speech path. Everybody has a right to kind of say what they want, somewhat do what they want to a certain extent. But then you have the respect factor, respecting others. It's just a lot of different strings to pull at this. I think the thing that kind of stood out to me is that each year the governor makes a choice whether they want to celebrate it or not. And I think that that just shows you where we are in our nation with different pockets of community where people elect not to continue to have this event and to celebrate certain parts of American history.
Ron, what's your thoughts? You're on speak. You're on
You're on
mute. You're on
speakers.
mute.
I mean mute.
Man, listen, fading fast. Nah, these folks are trying to turn back the clock. And what's really scary is that there's a level of consistency with the planning and the implementation of some of the things that are happening. And I think one of the things that we're not necessarily effectively aware of is that the agenda is something that they've actually been carrying out the last 10 or 15 years at a state level. And then after they implemented and gerrymandered, then they facilitated it on a larger level and on the local elections and in the governmental, senator, house, and various different things. What we're really facing right now is a level of apathy that we have as a community, and we're not opposing aspects of things that we see happening. And I think we need to wake up, and we don't have the organizations that were at the forefront, like the NAACP, to really support pushing back on some of these things that they're doing. So we need to wake up, and we need to get active. And those that are the brightest and best among us in terms of being lawyers, do a little bit of pro bono work. Let's step in this gap. Let's fill this breach. Thurgood Marshall got on the Supreme Court because he was representing the NAACP. It's a lot of good work that can be done representing issues for our community.
Q, what's your thoughts?
First, since I'll say thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Hargrove for watching the show. I hope y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel and to the sports channel. Second, hold on a second, I had the stat. There it is. Mississippi, as of 2024, 57% white, 37% black, 2.whatever% other. I mean, that's a 37% black is a good bit of people of melon descent in the state of Mississippi. And y'all want to do this. But third of all, hey, if y'all want to celebrate losers, by all means, go right ahead. I will happily celebrate the winning side over here. If y'all want to celebrate the people that lost, but that's neither here nor there. If you have the mayor of Mississippi has a strong affinity to hang out with losers. Or whatever Cat Williams said.
Okay. So my take is this: when you steal something that you did that didn't belong to you in the first place, you try everything you can to hold on to something that didn't belong to you. The problem with this Confederate flag, you trying to hold on to a history that you stole. You trying to hold on to you try to hold on to a action or you try to hold on to a season that you you try to hold on to a season or power and control that you have stole from us. And I don't know what to say about it. I'm in a loss. I think I think we need to open up as a community. I think we need to go back and stop trying to be so inclusive and really look at. They don't want you in their area. A lot of the truth will come out, and I think the truth is coming out with the races of this country daily. And this is one small example somebody that stole something and trying to stay hard to hold on to it, but it's not yours to hold on to. So that's my total point. It's just another example of where we really are at in this country as blacks in this country, and just like Ron say, they are doing everything in their power to try to turn the clock back. Guys, we better wake up and open our eyes and see what's going on out here. That's my thoughts. T.
I'm gonna agree with what everybody said. What G said is that as a governor, you have the right to decline it. As we see in the video, the governor, the ex-governor that did speak said, I said no to this. But now you have a different governor in there and he's saying yes. So it already tells you, like, why y'all live in Mississippi? Like, leave. I feel like Mississippi, Alabama, and parts of Louisiana are different countries. And Florida. And Florida.
Yeah.
Just why y'all still
there? Yeah.
Just
you don't have to live with
everybody just leave. And then again, what Quentin said, why do you think you won? You didn't, you lost. You're a loser. You're the loser. The biggest loser. I'm just, it is exhausting to keep hearing these stories in this 2024 that what goes on in Alabama, what goes on in Mississippi, Florida. Florida is going to drop off into the water.
What's going on in Tennessee? It go I'm with you, Toby. It is exhausting, dude.
It is exhausting.
Why we keep trying to and it was a different subject, but yeah, your early part of me and Playmaker had is another conversation. And I guess my point is, race is gonna be racist. So I'm not even talking to them. But why do we continue to put ourselves in positions that have to deal with that? We don't have to deal with you. The country is big enough that we don't have to deal with you.
That part.
Stuff and go where we don't have to deal with you no more. What's your thoughts on that, RJ?
Not to some of the powers that be. One of the things that's really kind of crazy. I seen this video, man, and it messed me up. The little girl said, I love to put boys in the headlock and take them down. And he's like, well, does this kid like you? No, but I love to. Well, I think he does, but I like to take him down. It's glorious. Unintended combative nature is a concern for me because that nature is one of constant attack on the history. Like at the core of what we're talking about, this whole thing we get ready to go into, they don't want African-American history taught because it identifies with aspects of things that impact how they look at it. So if you look at the history and some of the aspects of things that we're talking about, man, we are dealing with a group of people that's intent on making us a subservient class of folks forever. We gotta wake up, man. That's all I'm saying.
Playmaker, go back around to you. You want to add anything?
Surprisingly, I understand the shock value and all that kind of stuff of that this stuff is still happening. But I hadn't heard anybody protesting. I hadn't heard anything of people being, out in outrage. And that's the piece that's a little bit surprising is that in today's age that is just kind of status quo. Nobody's like, hey, we can't have this. Let's shut this down. Let's make it part of the criteria for who we vote for. It seemed like, okay, it's just something that happens. If we may celebrate it this year, we may not. Maybe a parade, a festival, some hot dogs. We don't know. It's kind of surprising to me that people that live within that community, at least as far as I have heard, have not been outraged by it and tried to change it.
Do you think that go back to what you were saying earlier in the earlier shows that everybody has some in our culture is so individually based that we're not really consuming ourselves with the collective?
Well, for this particular incident, I think it's been going on for so long that people are become immune to it. It's like, okay, it's a parade. They don't really. There's no outrage because it's been going on for so long. It's just a part of that culture there. So that's what I think has happened is people just become immune to, like we talked about earlier. You can become immune to dysfunction. You can think that dysfunction is normal, and once you get to that point, then you know you're like, why even say anything? What's wrong? What's the problem here?
Good stuff. Can you have anything to add?
For all the people, the contrarians, who may come in here and say, I'm celebrating my heritage, I'm my great whatever fought in that war, and this and that, they were losers too.
Toy, your last words, sweetie. You got it.
I just want to.
You can shut it down.
Q always gets the last word. Hey, thank you to the Hargos for writing in and listening to our show. We really
Yes, thanks for listening, man. Definitely.
keep the Ask Toys coming. You can always hit me up at AskToya, TOYA74 @gmail.com, or Toya L on Facebook, or Ask Toya on Facebook. Thank you.
Good stuff, guys. We're gonna jump right into the topic for the night, which is diversity. I can't speak. Diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is organization framework which seeks to promote the fair treatment and full participation of all peoples, particularly groups who have been historically been unrepresented or subject to discrimination on the basis of identity or disability. Diversity refers to the presence of a variety within the organization workforce, such as identity and identity politics. Includes gender, cultures, ethnicity, religion, disability, class, age, or opinion. Equity refers to concepts of fairness and justice, such as fair compensation and substantive equity. More specifically, equity usually also includes a focus on society disparities. I cannot speak today, pardon me. But back in. Finally, where societal disparities, that's the word I'm looking for. Finally, in inclusion refers to creating a organization culture that creates an experience where all employees feel that their voice will be heard and a sense of belonging and integration. So we're talking about DEI. So we're gonna jump into Q for the first question. What is your thoughts on DEI? Do you believe that it is needed?
My thoughts on DEI is I believe we as a culture. Now, I'll say this. When I first heard the word DEI, it was when Baltimore's mayor had to come out of his home at about 2 in the morning because the bridge fell. The bridge got hit and fell. And all I heard on Twitter was them calling the mayor of Baltimore a DEI.
Okay.
What?
Yeah,
I'm lost. Okay.
That's all it was on Twitter for because they saw how he was. She's like, oh, look at him. He's not even a sue. And it's DEI. I was like, okay, y'all don't be paying attention. But then later that day, I saw my Black community as a whole come together and do what we do best, and that's take a word and make it ours.
But why were they saying DEI? That wasn't for diversity.
Because they are losers.
Alrighty then. Alrighty then.
I told you to come here and take the word DEI and make it our own. DEI's in Paris. DEI's attitude.
All right. We keep interesting. Ron, I'm coming to you with this. That's an interesting thought. I ain't never heard of that. That's interesting. Ron, do you believe that DEI is a product of affirmative action initiative?
acronym kills me when they say didn't earn it. That's one of the favorite things that I hear, but it's essential right now in this time frame. Still, we actively have situations where we deal with a level of covertly express emotions that don't necessarily welcome us as African Americans. So, yeah, it's needed. It's needed. Big shout out to Emmitt Smith if he's listening. Great job of taking Florida to task for being a school that gets rid of their DEI program. And he talked about that in relationship to how those things impact. I think DEI essentially just levels the playing field for us. And we need some help, not all of it, but some will get us over the top. Yeah, those are the things that.
Good stuff. Tim, I'm coming with you. Do you believe that DEI promotes a more productive workplace in an organization?
They say it's supposed to, but when you got haters pushing away the narrative, how does that work? How does that work when you have anti-DEI people? Like Ron said, all of Florida is anti-DEI. And
she about population.
Who, me?
The mother.
What mother?
No, my God. She will.
Who?
Keep going, man. I'm off, man. Keep going.
Hey, man. Hey, man.
First of all, oh, I can't with y'all tonight because
I know.
it is supposed to increase working on DI are 19% more effective at creating an engaging employee experience. That is what they say. But my point is, how can it work if you have people out here pushing away from the narrative who don't want diversity or equity or inclusiveness? So it's supposed to work. If it works, I mean, the system is it's not bad. If it works, it works. That's a blessing. And like you said, it's supposed to level the playing field. But at what point, honestly, we've talked about it, is the playing field ever going to be leveled?
And you see when you see diversity and inclusion and you hit it around the head. Although there's laws that's made that we're governed by, that don't mean people believe the laws and live the laws that we are governed by or agree with them. And I think that's one of the big components of them. So you hit it around the head. Great thought. Playmaker, I'm coming with you with this one, man. Do you believe that it's the responsibility of the leader or administrative organization to ensure DEI is being implemented in their organization?
Yes, and for two reasons. I think one, a lot of organizations takes on the characteristics of their leaders. So if their leaders are really pushing for diversity and inclusion, it will kind of trickle down. And then I think also, if in order for it to be effective, you have to have buy-in by the leaders so that when issues come up and decisions need to be made, the people are empowered to make those decisions to take corrective actions.
Good point. So DEI is a priority, especially for higher education, because it impact not just the workforce but the entire campus. DEI comes into play when recruiting students, hiring faculty and staff, and shaping the campus culture. Encouraging career and advancement or setting up a tenure process, examining employments, budgeting, and making forward-looking decisions. For example, prioritizing DEI when recruiting faculty can help and institutions support diverse student body. DEI in the workplace implement policies or practices they are designed to make people of various backgrounds feel welcome and ensure they have the support to perform to the fullest of their abilities in the workplace. This can also include implementing actions against discrimination, anti-harassment policies, creating a family-friendly policy or environment, and providing accommodation for employees with disabilities. DEI has ballooned. Also, now one thing with DNI, it has a balloon to a massive industry projected to reach over $15.4 billion by 2026. Incentives like unconscious bias training and systemic workshops have become the frontline tools of organizations, private and public alike, to address the internal concerns about equity and representation. Quinn, I'll come at your way, sir. Do you believe that DNI training is needed in colleges and universities?
I'll get to that. I'll answer that in 1 second. But I actually have a question in return. So to summarize what you just said, were you saying DI is basically a set of procedures designed to eliminate unlawful discriminations among applicants, remedy the results of such prior discrimination, and prevent such discrimination in the future?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I just read? Affirmative action.
Right. So I'm asking you, do you think that's a direct link? And on a college campus, do you think that's needed?
Depending on the campus. If it's on HBCU, sure, you can have some people who are not just black on campus. Same on other campus, because you do need the diversity. If you only know one way of life, guess what? The real world is not one way of life. The real world has everybody, no matter where you go. So
Fact.
yeah, but to losers out there, again, I'm going back to y'all moaned and cried about affirmative action, and the same people y'all on y'all side turned around and said, okay, fine, DEI.
Now,
okay.
Now, it's not the same people, because like I said, there's anti-DEI people, and it's already been proven it was implemented in 40 states, and 20 states have made it it's that woke agenda. So 20 states have made it possible that you don't have inclusion and stuff like that, because it's, race is not, racism doesn't exist in the minds.
We've been missing it in these conversations that we have. I'm back from luncheon. Hey, man, do y'all realize we are the only group of people that have not tried to or could have assimilated into culture? Everybody that comes here in America does not set up their own subgroups in ways that evolve away from the root of what it is that America is about, and that's assimilation. Think about it in a larger sense. The larger sense is when the Latino comes to America, he wants to aspire to be like European, and he's actually welcome. When the Arab comes to this country, they're judged as being European, and they're actually welcome. When you talk about the people that come from India, the country, and they come here and they're not too dark, they come here and they're welcome, and they assimilate, and they incorporate themselves into this culture. We're the only people that generate our own culture and subgroups, yet still a lot of those things that we generate are so creative and so powerful that we make this thing move, but we don't gain the benefit.
Right. Actually, the other people gain the benefit for the back of our labor.
Right. And so then they cast the aspersion on us to make it seem as if we're lazy. But in all true honesty, they've effectively identified, like, yo, we've had these people to a certain degree under thumb, yet still we have not been able to get them to a space where they relent. And they slowly rock us to sleep, because right now, what we're experiencing is a level of rocking us to sleep. I hate to say it, but integration was part of that pill that we swallowed. And now we're in a space where we've been so comfortable here in this country, we've been rocked to sleep. And a lot of the intellectuals, in all true honesty, and the well-to-do people have sold out.
Yeah.
And what you see now, I ain't sitting here saying I'm pro-Palestine, pro-Israel, anything. But the disruptions are happening where? On the college campus. Now, I sent Hank some information in relationship to Reagan, and he said there is a deep-seated fear of a proletarian state. Go look it up, which means a group of people that were highly educated and were alert as to what their rights were and implemented their rights. So when you start thinking about how they rocked us to sleep with drugs, alcohol, and then a lot of these programs that have facilitated our success or supported our success, I ain't gonna say facilitated, because some of these people would have been successful without that. That's why they're trying to place a final stranglehold on us, because in some aspects, some of these people don't want or need us as much as they did before. We're not the largest voting bloc anymore.
Facts.
We'll keep pushing with you, T, with this. So the article suggests by using DEI to recruit faculty can help an institution have more diverse student body and become a better institution. Do you believe that is true? Why not?
I mean, when you look at HBCUs, hey, there it works. We look at people that look just like us. We're taught by people and loved by people that look just like us. But when you put certain things in different environments just to make it help out, I guess, to bring more people into certain institutions, or certain types of people into certain types of institutions, does it work? Because you still literally, I have experienced an HBCU and a PWI. And when you experience a PWI, and although it's on a graduate level, you still look for your people, as to say. Whereas then when you're in that HBCU, all your people are right there.
Correct.
So the concept works. When we're talking about higher education, the concept works, but does the outcome work?
The application will work.
Yeah.
Ned, play me. I'm coming with you. I'm gonna skip a little cover with you because we ain't heard from you in a little bit. Do you believe that creating I mean, I know in the corporate world, so you are corporate as expert on the panel. In the corporate world, do you believe that creating an inclusive workplace improve in production or decrease production, and why?
So I definitely think it improves because when you have when it's working like it's supposed to, everybody is a valued team member and everybody's opinion counts. So it's not the same people making the same decisions, doing things the same way. Everybody's able to introduce an idea and then take that idea forward, based off of the group kind of evaluating that idea. So I do think that it makes things more productive because we all have different experiences, different educations, different knowledge bases, and you're able to tap into all those differences when you work collectively and collaborate collectively.
Good stuff. So some experts believe that there are some adverse issues when dealing with DEI training in the workplace. Despite the overwhelming evidence that the workplace are becoming more demographically diverse, research find that over half the workers feel exhausted and isolated at work. A lot of companies are experiencing employee fatigue with diversity, equity, and inclusion in initiatives. Workers feel exhausted and frustrated and skeptical that the DNI efforts will result in a tangible outcome. Q, I'm coming with you with this. Do you believe that DNI could have a reverse negative outcome?
You are asking essentially a future black male educator in going into the field of predominantly Caucasian women. Being a DEI myself, because that's what I'm gonna be. Let's keep it a whole buck. That's what I'm gonna be in about 2.5, 3 years. I'm gonna be a DEI hire, and they're gonna want to push me to the top.
Well, you're gonna be a unicorn, sir. You're not gonna be a DEI hire. You're gonna be a unicorn, sir. That's what you're gonna be.
I'm gonna be a unicorn in black and white because they're gonna run me like a mule.
No, they ain't gonna do that neither. But I understand.
With that being said, I can imagine all the extracurriculars they may try and push on me because I may be the only black man in all Caucasian school.
That's true.
And not the janitor.
That means you heavily sold out after, sir.
And that janitor getting paid more than
run you crazy.
That janitor getting paid more than all of y'all. That part. That janitor getting paid more than all of y'all.
I know, right?
But what he says is true because. Go ahead, Q.
Okay, it may be a negative outcome, but it'll be a negative outcome that I get paid from. It'll be a negative outcome that I will not bother with because my priority it will be with the kids and not.
Well, so I don't think going to a male teacher your position is a negative outcome. Like I said, I think you're going to say what you gonna say, Toya? You people.
First of all, black male teachers are sought after. That's a commodity. It's not a negative outcome because we need more black male teachers in all levels of school. But you see them mostly. What I'm learning now is that you see them mostly in middle school and high school, but no elementary school, and that's where they're needed too. Because I was having a conversation today, and it was said that young black boys, if they're not interested in school by the 3rd grade, then they're lost.
Yep.
For the rest of their lives. So you need that. We need that. And if that's diversity, if that's DEI, we need that in elementary schools. We need more black men teaching in elementary schools. And granted, middle school is important years too, very important. But that kindergarten to 3rd for our boys is the most important. Yeah.
Crucial.
Sorry, any future principal is looking to hire somebody in a year of 2028.
So you ain't have no problem. You no
problem because I'm going to be that. Positive wise, what y'all are saying is 100% accurate. They do need me. I'm teaching elementary school. Well, I'm going to teach elementary school, but I also know someone higher up is going to look at me as a DEI hire.
You'll be fine, sir. You'll be fine. Trust you'll be fine. T, I'm gonna stay with you. I'm gonna stay with you. You know what? Let's jump around. Now I'm gonna stay with you. I'm gonna stay with you. Do you think that DEI could promote unqualified people in certain positions in the workplace? You think one of the reverse aspect of it?
It's supposed to. Again, it's supposed to. But again, 40 states, 20 out of which are now law. So that part. And we got rid of affirmative action. These laws was put in after Trump put in Executive Order 13950 in 2020 after George Floyd and when DEI became a need after you see all those programs. So it's supposed to be able to promote, like you say, it's supposed to make a level field, but when you got 20 states that's already banished it, what's the point? They don't want a level field because here is the honesty of it all. If there's a level field, if it was ever a level field, it's like when you see that video where they ask the questions. They have a bunch of people standing at the starting line, and they ask you how you started off in life. And first of all, a lot of some black people move forward, but most of the black people stay back. And you got a couple of white people that stay back. You got to think because there are poor white people in this world. And that's the ones that vote. And that's why we in the trouble we in now. Because poor white people always gonna vote for what they think is gonna get them out of the poorhouse. But the field has never been leveled. It's never been even. So why make it even now? Let's just make you think we're gonna make it even. But even if you work hard, are black men going to be paid equally? I can promote you, but will you still be paid the same as your white counterpart?
Your white counterparts.
I think we missing the bus.
What
The reason why they getting rid of DEI, man, is kind of like what Joy Reid said. Obama scared the hell out of the establishment. Some of those people that are opposed to following a man that is a bright and intelligent individual. And what his candidacy and his thought process made us almost believe that we're in a post-racial America. And then when you get a Trump, you get that whiplash. Just my opinion. Gary looking like, where's Ron going with this?
Yeah.
Diversity and inclusion offers opportunities to masses of people.
Yes.
And the more people you get through that flow, the more opportunities you're going to get to have successful people. So how do you control it? You choke the flow of those opportunities off. It's just that simple. So
okay.
it's like in the Bible. You kill them before they grow. When they were looking for Moses, they killed all the Egyptian baby boys. So you compromise them before they ever even get the opportunity. You make sure that it ain't even a plan, it ain't even a platform. It's not even a vehicle there for them to go through.
Okay.
Playmaker,
I'm gonna jump with you. Go ahead, T.
It's always that. I mean, I said that's the design. It's always been designed like that. It doesn't change. Just different years, different outcomes.
Right. Playmaker, come with you with this, man. What effect, if any, you think it would have on the community if DEI training was stopped in the workplace and schools?
Well, I mean, you can see some examples in the states that have already stopped it, but I think what you see is some of the things that I see now that's happening in a lot of companies is especially for this month, is you see that a lot of women are getting more opportunities that they should have been able to get before. So a lot of companies are making sure that women have a path to leadership. And I think that if you eliminate some of that, you go back to the old ways of the establishment staying in power and not having the diversity that we need. And I also think that just in dealing with your coworkers or just people in general, if you don't understand or have an appreciation or even a tolerance for something to be different, you tend to not respect it. You tend to minimize it and also disrespect it. So I think that you probably have a little bit more, I don't want to say violence, but you probably have a little bit more tension if you don't push some of these laws in training.
Good point. Ron, you with me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Hey, so I'm going to do because Gary mentioned tension, and the question I'm about to ask you, Toya alluded to earlier about DEI, and because it's in place, people don't have to follow. But I'm gonna come with you with the actual question. Although there are DEI trainings and policy in place, do you think that may create a tension in the workplace for those co-workers who don't agree with DEI? Do you think because if the company pushing DEI and half the workers don't agree with, do you think that creates a negative environment?
You said half the workers don't agree with it.
Right. So let's say your company is employing DEI
I,
training, and you
I,
got a subset of the workers that don't necessarily think they need don't believe in DEI training. Would that cause a adverse effect?
I think, man, honestly, a lot of the problems that we're talking about, man, are rooted in ignorance. Like Sister Joan, I think what is her name, Joan Goodall, or the sister that do the race relations type things.
Mm-hmm.
She used to always say, man, if you would sign up to be treated like black people, raise your hands.
Yeah.
And nobody in the audience would raise their hands. So they realize that there's an identified problem, but they don't want to have that problem addressed so that there can be, honestly, true competition. True competition creates opportunities for all. And what they're trying to do is this word I learned. One of the first words I learned in sociology called social stratification. That means people being locked into certain behavioral or emotional learning classes. That's what it is. So what they're trying to implement in all true honesty is the elimination of upward mobility for certain people who are in certain workspaces. That's that simple.
So we got a round table, but I'm gonna ask a different question. I want one of you guys to kind of just jump in. I'm gonna just jump to answer the question because it's kind of related to the editorial tonight. So in the state of Mississippi, you got the governors wanting to have a Confederate Day. How do you feel? Do that play in the the mental psyche, especially our community, the black community, when we trying to be over inclusive, and you got states like Mississippi having a Confederate Day? Does that put a little water on the fire of us trying to be inclusive with them? I'm going with that, Toy.
Why you gotta be inclusive? Stop being inclusive. I want to cuss.
Well, I mean, it did. I don't gotta go.
That's the problem.
Are we ready to be inclusive?
We know the history. They can't take away our history from us to know that they lost. They just mad. They big mad for hundreds and hundreds of years that they lost. And you would think that this thing would die out. You would think that it would have died out. Generations have, since passed and stuff. But it's instilled in you. And so it stays. I mean, I guess it's how they feel about us celebrating Juneteenth or Black History Month.
Joe in that playmaker. What's your thoughts on that playmaker? What's your thoughts? Are we as a country ready for inclusion and the equity and inclusion, or is society ready for? Or are we pushing a strange narrative?
So I think it's difficult when you have pockets of communities or pockets of people that are buying in and others that are not buying in. To your point a few minutes ago, if you have one person being completely inclusive and another person right next to them doing the opposite, it doesn't work. In order for it to work, everybody has to be willing to lean in and say, you know what, I'm going to try to include you and you're going to try to include me. But when you try to do it in pockets and have people doing different things, it makes it very challenging. So if you say, okay, you have your Juneteenth, you have your Confederate your Confederate month, and we all kind of do our separate things, then everybody do their separate things. If you say, okay, I'm going to be inclusive and invite you to my event, then you have to be inclusive and make the event friendly enough for other people. But I don't think we have that right now. I think you have some people who are very inclusive and some people who are not. And then I think it just creates a bad mix.
Good stuff, guys. Hey, man, we just want to start a conversation, develop conversation so you guys can take something back to your groups and continue to have the coverage of DUI. And how can we get along better
You
as a
are.
community and society. Hey guys, a good run. Hey Q, your final thoughts, man. You first. You on deck.
How much time I got?
You got a
3
little
seconds.
bit, not a lot, but go ahead and do you.
Bet. Because speaking of DEI, first off, you've been saying everything but DEI this whole show. But speaking of DEI, in the last few weeks, in the world of professional wrestling, we have had not one, not two, but three black individuals win a wrestling title. One won 2 world titles, 1 women's title, and there's another black woman who was on a 500+ day reign in another company. Also, speaking of DEIs and people not liking black people, Vince McMahon also sold lots of stakes, which means WWE is no longer owned by Vince McMahon. I said to say, if anyone wants to get into wrestling, now is the best time to get into wrestling. Vince McMahon, that pervert, he's gone. There's black people and there's black people in wrestling. WrestleMania was in Philadelphia. That was a Negro spiritual that was happening at WrestleMania a month ago. Come watch wrestling. Also, Anthony Edwards is the best shooting guard in the league right now.
Good stuff. Good stuff. RJ, last thoughts, man. Your last words.
Ant-Man like that. I said Ant-Man like that. Y'all asked the question. Y'all posed the question in the group chat today, and I just said I'm seconding what Quinn said. Ant-Man like that. You got that killing your ball.
Good stuff. Playmaker, your last thoughts.
So mine is just be 2 words. Practice patience and grace when dealing with your loved ones.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Tori, your last thoughts.
Y'all, let me tell y'all something. I love y'all. I'ma leave with love. I love y'all. Y'all are the best. That is like, if y'all knew these brothers on the level that I know them, I just love them to death. I love y'all.
Hey man, sleep is fundamental, man. I ain't got none right now.
If I can say one more thing in this bag, let's swing back.
Yes, sir. You got time, Q. One more thing. So you got a little time. Q, one more thing.
I just want to confirm one more time. I've said the whole show. I'm gonna say it again. The takeaway from this whole show is the Confederates were losers. Now say goodbye. Y'all lost. Y'all are losers. There are 2 losers in life. Y'all and Cowboys fans. Y'all lost.
Y'all see why I love
Oh
them.
wow. Wait, that's where we going. That's where we going. Hey guys, I got a little word for tonight, man. The true test of a person's integrity is what they do when no one is watching. Okay. Hey guys, again, thank you for coming on to the show. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for participating with us. And thank you for being with us tonight at Over the Top Podcast. We definitely don't take it lightly, and we definitely thank you as our fans. And like always, guys, may your next move be the game changer. Peace.